Card, that's not in good condition, you'll get cards that will double in value if you get a 9.5. So like a Zion Silver I was just talking about, $600-700 as raw, and a 9.5 it's worth about double that. And that little slightest 1/8 of an inch off centering can mean the difference in the grade from a 9 to a 9.5, which is a $700 gap in value. So the tiniest, it's literally a game of inches. I know they say that in sports all the time, but it refers to sports cards as well. The littlest difference means the biggest value in terms of money.
What's happening, everybody? Steve here, Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you with another video with the $1 million man himself. What's going on?
Thank you, nice to be here.
Eric's 22 years old, which if you guys have been watching our videos or you're part of our workshop that's going down at RaikenProfit.com/cards, we got a bunch of free guides, tutorials, videos. If you've seen those, you probably already know his story. 22 years old, from New Jersey. You started when you were around like 18-ish, but things have been picking up the last couple of years. You've done over $1 million in sales. How's everything going, man, in the card business right now?
Man, it's been absolutely crazy. So, specifically right now, we're in a time of quarantine, and because you can find so many good deals, but at the same time, a lot of people in the sports card industry, these are not people that live paycheck to paycheck, so they're as liquid as ever, but you can still find very good deals, from people who are a little bit fearful and selling at steep discounts. Like I've been buying Ronald Acuna rookie cards. I haven't seen these prices in almost 2 years. So it's been going very, very well for me specifically.
Awesome, awesome. So excited about this video because in this video, we're gonna be giving you guys not 1, not 2, not even 6. We're giving you guys 7 tips for buying and selling, but mostly buying raw sports cards on eBay and flipping them for a profit. So for the beginners who are watching, what's a raw sports card?
A raw sports card is simply a card that has not been graded yet. It's not in an encapsulation from PSA or Beckett or any of these other grading companies. It's literally a flimsy card and you could touch it raw. That's the best way to put it. Cool.
So we're gonna give you guys tips for how you can buy these raw cards and eventually sell them or hold them until you eventually flip them for a profit. So number one, and I know you're gonna clarify this, but we talked about do it a couple weeks after the product release, but you were just before saying you'd like to do it a little quicker.
So this is just something to be very mindful of. When a product releases, the prices are inflated because, like I always say, this is a business built on hype and emotion. And because these are rookie cards, these are their first real good autographs, the prices are high. And naturally, when prices are high, it takes about a 20% decrease afterwards. So I would not want to be stuck buying these cards 2-3 weeks after release. You're still paying those high prices, but if you go and get them graded and by the time it comes back, it hit that decrease. So either buy them right away or wait a couple weeks. I wouldn't be that person stuck in between because I've been there. It's not fun.
So when it comes to buying raw cards, the goal isn't to buy a raw card and then resell it raw. The goal, and maybe there's some instances where you do that, but the goal for the most part is to take that raw card and then send it into either Beckett or PSA and have it grade well. Do you mind explaining that a little bit?
Yeah, so PSA and Beckett are 2 grading companies, and they grade a card based on its condition. So if a card is in good condition, just like anything in life, it's gonna be worth more. So there's a couple pieces of criteria I talk about in another video: corners, edges, centering, surface, autograph. PSA and Beckett differentiate a couple of the subgrades, or what those are called, those pieces of criteria. And PSA looks at corners a little bit more heavily, and Beckett looks at centering a little bit more heavily. But yeah, that's the whole goal. You want to get a good grade and buy a card that's in good, solid condition.
Awesome. So for the people watching now, they probably know all about the sold listings on eBay. We have a lot of eBay sellers that are sourcing from thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets, liquidation, flipping on eBay. How does the studying of the sold listings come to play in your business when dealing with raw sports cards?
So looking at sold listings is the biggest indicator of how to tell the market value of a card. So let me give you an example. A Ronald Acuna rookie card is selling for about $1,500 right now. And let's say you didn't know that. You could go look at the recent sales and they'll be $1,450, $1,550, $1,525, $1,600. And these prices will vary depending on the subgrades, those pieces of criteria I just talked about. The higher subgrades means it's gonna sell for a little bit more. Lower end subgrades means it's gonna sell for a little bit less. But I'm talking about a card that's an overall 9.5. And yeah, looking at those recent sales, that will determine market value. And obviously there's other factors that I could talk about in other videos, such as, a player's on the trend, you'll see the sales linearly going up, or the same thing happens for a player that's performing bad. It'll linearly go down. So that's kind of what I mean by study sold listings.
Yeah, do your research before. Don't just watch this video or watch another video and just all of a sudden make like a rash decision. Like you want to do your research. And inside the workshop over here at RaikenProfit.com/cards, we actually have a video. I think we might have already recorded it. No, it's not there. I don't know. It's somewhere in that workshop though that like goes into depth when dealing with studying the sold listings, and we talk about other websites. There's that website 130.
130point.com.
Yeah, which is a really good website. So be sure to get into the workshop, check that out as well. Let's talk about multipliers.
So multipliers is when you're buying a card to grade, you kind of have to know what you expect to get. So, let's say you're buying a raw Ronald Acuna card. I'll keep referring to this. They're worth about $1,100 to $1,200. As a 9.5, they're worth $1,500 to $1,600. And let's say there were no 9.5 sales. You have to know, I'm purchasing this card at $1,100. I could expect to see X increase when I get this card graded, and hopefully it grades out well for me. And there's all sorts of factors. Like, I'll give you an example. Like 2016 Bowman Chrome is a tough card to grade because it has colored borders on the back, so the corners chip easily. So it's just like anything in economics, supply and demand. The supply's not there. There's not as many higher graded cards because it's harder to get that grade. And there's still that same demand, which means you're going to get a bigger premium for a card from 2016 Bowman Chrome that grades well. Unlike Ronald Acuna from 2017, it's a very easy card to grade, so you don't see that big of a gap in that premium.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot right now, just a little bit. Maybe we can help the people out. What's a card that somebody could invest in that's under $500 right now that you could buy raw, that you feel is could possibly be a good opportunity if everything goes according to plan in like 2020, 2021?
A Zion Williamson silver. They're worth about $500, $600, maybe a little bit more right now. Or you could buy a Ja Morant silver. I'm a big fan of both those guys. Yeah, you can find them raw. You just have to make sure they're centered and they look good. It's something I teach a little bit more in my mentorship program. I really go into depth on. But cards like that, I think they have very good potential. Basketball's only getting bigger and bigger.
Awesome. And before we get into knowing your premiums, if you do want to learn more from Eric, jump on a one-on-one call, learn from him through personalized mentorship, group coaching. If you go to the workshop, we're going to give you guys all those free videos, and you can also book a free call with them as well. So how do you get to know your premiums?
So I kind of already answered this, so I'm going to go back and forth between these two. So by multipliers, premium multipliers is kind of a similar word in this industry. So when you're buying a card, and let's say there's not a sale there. Let's say you're buying a blue Ronald Acuna rookie card, and there's no sales. You don't know what they're worth, but there's sales for bases, there's sales for golds, there's purple sales, there's refractor sales, but there's no blue sales. You have to kind of know, like, a blue is worth about 2 to 2.5x a refractor, and a refractor is worth about 1.2 to 1.3x a base. And you could use these colors and multipliers and keep going up the scale to kind of tell the value of a card if that sale's not there, because these cards are a little bit rare. Like a blue Ronald Acuna, there's only 150 of them in the world. So there's not always these sales on eBay of these rare cards, and knowing how it works with the coloring system and how the values escalate really helps in terms of looking for cards and trying to find good deals and get them graded.
Got it. So to finish things up here, I really want to say study, 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 right? Make sure that you study the sold listings, but also study the condition. Like Eric was saying before, if that card isn't centered, it can make a huge difference in value. You could take a card that's you think is going to be worth $1,400, it could be worth maybe $500 or $600 if it's off centered, right?
Yeah, so a card, that's not in good condition, you'll get cards that will double in value if you get a 9.5. So like a Zion silver, I was just talking about, $600, $700 as raw, and a 9.5, it's worth about double that. And that little slightest 1/8 of an inch off centering can mean the difference in the grade from a 9 to a 9.5, which is a $700 gap in value. So the tiniest, it's literally a game of inches. I know they say that in sports all the time, but it refers to sports cards as well. The littlest difference means the biggest value in terms of money.
Absolutely. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any more questions for myself, for Eric, I'm sure you have a lot of questions for Eric, be sure to join our workshop, because not only are we going to give you a bunch of free videos where we go in depth, and again, we have videos, we have all types of videos that we recorded today, 5 things to avoid when buying rookie cards. We talk about, is it actually still worth buying and selling cards in 2020 and beyond. We talk about how to find the value of sports cards. We talk about grading. If you want more information, go to raikenprofit.com/cards over there. And also we're going to be doing some more live shows. We did a live show the other day. I'll put a link to that somewhere down in the description. You can watch that live show, but we're going to do some more live shows. So if you join our email list, where you're going to get those free videos as well, and you'll be able to learn about his mentorship over there. Yeah, we're going to give you guys a bunch of goodies. And if you do decide to do any group or personalized mentorship with Eric, obviously the Raiken Profit, we're going to be hooking you up a little bit with a discount. So check that out. But with that being said, keep on picking and making that money, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.